Hi, welcome to another session of ERPNext functional training. Today we are covering manufacturing module. So if you are a regular user of ERPNext, you will see, you might have already seen that there is something called domain here, and there is manufacturing, and there are a lot of domains. If you don't see it here, so what you need to do, I'll tell you. So go to here, domain list. You will find all the agriculture, hospitality. We are planning to cover all of it, but manufacturing, we will have a couple of sessions, and after that we will start covering other modules. But here, if you don't find it here, this one, you have to go to here, domain, and in the domain settings, you tick it here. You see this one, then it will start appearing on the main menu. So it's just that's the only technical part in this. The thing is, we are covering only functional. For technical, how to install, how that other things, we have another session. This is just for so we are going to make plum cake. You know what is plum cake? Most of you, this is the plum cake. This is very popular. Why I select this plum cake? No, I mean, I simply like it. That's all. I eat it a lot. So that's it. Now let's go to what exactly. First, a basic theory that I would like to cover. Theory. I know most of you don't like it, but it's a little bit 1 or 2 minutes I will take. What is the manufacturing module? How you manufacture things? What exactly you need to manufacture it? So I'll tell you first. There are 3 important things. First, you need to have input. That is, you can say raw materials, right? 2, there is a process. And 3, there is output. I mean, this is actually finished project. So one example, I will say, ready mix, concrete. If you are a concrete making company, what will have here? You will have sand and metal. Then you will put it in a big cylinder kind of thing, and you will put all of these things here, all of these things here. Then you will get an output that is concrete. This is the process. I mean, the input, process, and output. These are the 3 things that we will do. So in our case, what is our case? We are a bakery. So we are a bakery, and we are taking contract for supplying food for marriages and food, cake, drinks, and all for marriages and all. It's an actual case. So what happens? We need to make different cakes and other foods. So here we are going to make plum cake. So what you need for plum cake? It's a long list. It's just for simplicity's sake. Let's say we need sugar. Okay. Then flour. Some would say maida. Then let's say cashew nut. We'll take only 3. Actually, there are essence. You need salt and all of these things. We are not going there. So these 3 things we have to do what? We have to mix it. Then we have to boil it, and a lot of things we will say, okay, cook it. Mixing and cooking. Then we need to packing. Okay. These are the process. We need to do these 3 processes. And then what we get? We get plum cake. Right? these are the process. I repeat, we are a bakery and we are going to make plum cake. For plum cake, it's not actual plum cake. Let's say only three things we needed: sugar, flour, and cashew nut. Then three processes we will do: mixing, cooking, and packing. Then we will get plum cake. So where you do this, it's normally, if you are a big bakery, there is a packing section, there is a mixing section, there is a cooking section. But let's say here we will just do it everything in the lobby or in the kitchen. That's all. Okay. So now let's go to ERPNext. What is here in the manufacturing? Manufacturing, the raw materials and everything, we will say it's there in the item. Not only raw materials and the final product also, it will be there in the item. And there will be BOM. I will tell you what is that. Work order, I'll show you here in this video. But production plan, forecasting, and production planning report, these three things we are not covering today. These three things we are not covering today. It will be on tomorrow, next video. But we will cover this one: BOM, work order, BOM stock report, dashboards. And here, routing, operation, workstation, bill of material, item. These all things. And job card, stock entry. Let's go one by one. I told you that there are certain items that you need. What are the items that we said? We need cashew nut, it is here. Flour, it is here. Sugar, it is here. And the final product, plum cake, is here. When you are doing it, you can just make it like this is, there are certain categories, this is the raw material. I'm not going to the item creation part because we have explained this stock and all in the past video. You can refer to past video and you can see how to create these items. And I think most of you know that there is no point going back. So now we will come to the process. How here we will go. I'll start from this side because why I start from this side, this is important because otherwise we cannot create BOM. BOM means bill of material. That effectively, that I'll go to screen. Effectively, it's the things required to get our final products. That's including process and final the raw material. So here we will see there is something called workstation, operation, and routing. So what is workstation? Workstation is the place you work. That as simple as that. So here, making it, we can say it's in the lobby or in the kitchen or wherever. We can just say we can add it here. Not going there because I'm not wasting your time. It's as you see. That's all. When you are doing, you will understand. And then operations. What are the operations that we have discussed? Operation. The operation that we have discussed are mixing, cooking, and packing. So first we will mix the sugar and the flour, and we will put the cashew nut. Then we will take it to the kitchen and we will do the cooking. And after that, we will do the packing. So these are the operations. So the operation, this is the operation. Operation. Now, workstation we have covered, operation we have covered. Now, the main thing is routing. What is routing? Routing is here, you need to say in the process, because we need to assign manpower, we need to assign the space and all, how much time you required for this particular thing. I put for mixing, you need 60 minutes. For cooking, you need 120 minutes. And for packing, you need 30 minutes. And there is an order. This order is important because you cannot pack it without cooking, or you cannot cook it without mixing. So put it like this is the sequence number. First thing that you are doing is mixing. Second thing you are doing is cooking. Third, this order cannot be changed. If you can do two processes together, you put it as same priority, order by order. So this can be done. And there is operation cost involved. So you can say, okay, this is the operation cost, this is the operation cost. So there are a lot of reports. So you can take the reports, depends on how much you are spending on cooking, how much you are spending on mixing, how much you are spending on packing. And you can put it on different accounting headers that we have explained in the past video, how the accounting headers and all of this thing work. That's basically accountant's job. So this is the routing. I just put a name, routing for plum cake. This is just if you want to see how we are making it, just add a routing, give whatever name you want, routing for cake or something, whatever name. Then you put whatever steps that you put a sequence, just the sequence, operation, and the operation time. Operation, whatever the operation first it's happening, that's mixing. Then you put these are the things that you will just put on the routing. You can say routing table. A lot of technical people will confuse because we have a routing table in network also. Then here, once you have done this routing, once you've done operation, these three things, then you will go to bill of material. Item we have already done. We will come to the bill of material. That's called BOM. That's BOM. So how we do that? So plum cake. Plum cake, it's the product we already have created. So we are going one by one. So here, okay, this is a concept, project concept you have described, you have done in the past, but I will tell you an example. You are taking contract for a marriage. Okay, so you are you are a bakery and you took contract for marriage. And in that marriage, you are serving cakes, you are serving biryani, and you are selling juices and juices. You are doing so many things, and you need to know end of the day, this marriage project was profitable for you or not. So you will assign this particular BOM against this project. Okay, so you can put it like here you have the project details, but this is generally an accounting thing. So you can actually go there and check it, and the quantity, the BOM quantity also you will put, and there is something called with operation. This with operation, and there is routing. So you can put here the routing that we have created. You remember the routing? That's mixing, cooking, and packing. These are the three routing, and the time and everything, and the workstation and all of that things. And finally, the material required for that. There is something called quality inspection required. It's another subject that you need to know. Maybe I'm not explaining now, but that's pretty straightforward to understand. This is, and then there is scrap. I mean, what you get the output. Sometimes you get in this cake thing, you would not get scrap much, but sometimes you will get it, and there are costing for that. So why you need to do the costing? Because anyway, this is ERP is end of the day, it's an accounting thing. So your management or your resources want to know how much you are spending on each stage of it. So I'm not saving it because I already have a copy of it. This is the BOM. So we mentioned here for one cake, this is quantity is 1. You can see it here, the quantity is 1. And then you need, for one quantity, you need 60 minutes on mixing, 120 minutes on cooking, 30 minutes on packing. And as a raw material, you need 5 kilogram sugar, 10 kilogram flour, and 1 kilogram cashew nut. This is all rubbish, I know, but you are not going to make cake like this, but just it's for the clarity of things. I simply simplified it now. Now, BOM, the next thing is, first I told you production and forecasting we are not covering today. So now what happens? This is another concept kicks in here. What is that? When you are creating, when you want to make 100 pieces of cakes, plum cake, you will not just make it and keep it in your kitchen because it has expiry date. 1 or 2 days it will be. So you generally make cake or whatever, normally whatever, you against a work order. Work order. That means someone call you and tell you that we need 100 cakes. Then you will make 100 cakes. Okay. Otherwise, you simply don't make. So there are, there are production plans and forecasting. If you get many orders, let's say 10 orders, 20 orders or something, then you need to assign your workspace, your staff, and all of these things according to how many work order you are getting. So whenever you are getting a work order, you will just go this menu and you will create a new work order. Okay, this is the work order. So what is the item to manufacture? Plum cake. How many plum cake you got in a work order? Quantity of manufacture. Let's say I got an order for 100. Okay. Sales order number, project details. Project, again, I told you, if you are taking a marriage contract, you put it here, or any other contract. Then where you get the material? You get the material from the store, any store, wherever it is, you will mention it here. And that's the working progress warehouse, and the target warehouse is, let's say, finished goods. You will keep some places that I will just put it. You can put whatever store you want. Scrap warehouse means when you get scrap. And the required items. Here you notice this work order is for 100 pieces. So one piece we have put sugar 5, flour how much? 110, and the cashew nut 1. So for 100 pieces, we need 500 units of sugar, 1000 pieces of flour, and 1 kg of cashew nut. And there is transfer quantity, that part I'll come to that. So this is and here the operation and other details mixing. This is I have explained to you. I'm repeating maybe too much. So this is the new work order. So you have a work order now. I'm submitting that work order also. So if you have the items in the store, this work order is submitted. If you don't have the items in the store, it will say there is no items in the store. So maybe you need to issue a purchase order for your supplier and get the items. So maybe that's different case. So what you will do now, start. So now we have done, we may get hundreds of orders, bakery. So one work order for this particular 100. Here you will see, actually on the manufacturing tab, you will see BOM stock report, like how much quantity is available for production. There are multiple reports. Of course, you know that there are many reports. So this is, let's say, these are the three items required: cashew nut, flour, and sugar. And you will say, okay, these 5,000 quantities are available. So it's just okay. Otherwise, it will give you error. And you can do some forecasting and other things. And on the dashboard, you will see how much we have to produce now, how much pending order, now pending work order, last month down, work order analysis, how much completed, how much yet to complete, and job cards, and all of these reports. You don't need me to explain, but there are multiple reports. These reports, it will be reflected on the stock report, stock ledger, received quantity, and that of thing. And it will also reflects in the accounts like your profit and loss statement and all. We have explained it in the past, so I'm not repeating. Now, this works order you received, and you can see it here, a status is not started. You just got the order, you entered the order, it's not started. Normally, there are so many orders will be like here. One order maybe we have tested here, so you can get it. I mean, you can filter it, but here, let's say here we have not started making it. Now I'm going to start the job because we decided we have all the items, we have the order in hand, so we'll just process. We are going to deliver it tomorrow. So I'm starting it. I'm starting to make 100 quantity. So this is an easy thing. Actually, if you have thousands of unit requirement, or your capacity in the kitchen is to make for 10 pieces or 50 pieces, you can just say here, you can put it here 10 or 15, because you don't need to finish in one flow. Because normally that's not possible, especially big companies like ready-mix company, iron, and that type of petroleum companies, that kind of thing. You cannot finish the work for an order in single process. So, but here in this, you can make 100 plum cakes. So I just put a create. Okay. So this is a stock entry. So when you're putting the stock entry, what is stock entry? Stock entry means you are taking this much items from your stores. That is very important, because whatever you are doing in this manufacturing module, it has to be reflected in the stock ledger. Otherwise, it will be pointless, because the storekeeper has to issue these items to you. If you are a very big company or a reasonably medium company, storekeeper has to issue you the items, and he should have his documents, and he should know where it's gone. So there is a stock entry in this, and the stock entry, you will take 500 kilogram of sugar, 1000 kilogram of flour, and 100 kilogram for this particular thing. And this stock ledger you will see for reference. So this, if you save it, then only this item will come to your kitchen. Otherwise, it will not come to your kitchen. And if you want to, we have a very detailed video about the stock entry and all. You can refer again. I'm not repeating that. Okay. Now that I'm submitting. Okay. Right. So here you can create material request and all, purchase invoice. So now I'm going back to, we have got the items. Now, again, create pick list and all, start. Oh, I've done that. Now that process finished. Now I'll say there is things, you got the items. Now it is like finish. So it will say here the status, it will show the status is close or stop. So now status will display there. Now the next step is finish the job. Do the job. So I'll just say finish. Here you can say a message. It's not an error message. I deliberately left it there because here you can see something called create job cards. What is create job cards? Because manufacturing involves manpower. You need somebody to do mixing, somebody to do packing, and somebody to do cooking. So you need to create a job card, and according to that job card, an employee will do the job. Otherwise, it's not going to work. So this manufacturing module, if you ask me what are the involved, it's involved stock, it's involved accounting, it involved payroll and HR and everything, and this. Okay. So now we will say this, we have, before finishing it, we have to, for the process, we need to create job cards. So I'm just, I'm creating job cards for all mixing, cooking, and packing, and create it. I have created 3 job cards. Okay. Now it will, now again, I will go to finish. Okay. I will go here on the manufacturing. There is something called job card. There are 3. You can see 1, 2, 3. This is the old one. Don't look at it. This we have created now. So for mixing, first step, mixing, I'm assigning this job. I'm doing this job. I'm starting this job. So first job from the job card, one supervisor or something, when they start doing, they will say, okay, let's start the job. Okay. And who is doing, when they say who is doing, this is one of the employee in the database, or 1 or 2 or 3 employee, you will say, okay. So now you can see this keep on going, this timer. So whenever you can say pause job or complete job or whatever. Okay. So this guy, so this is the man, this employee is working there. So actually this is related to because when you calculate your particular project, you need to know how much manpower and basically how much salary of this particular man gone to this particular making or cooking or this particular project. So you need to know that. That's why you need to put it, this employee. That's very important. And let's say, okay, mixing finished. I'm pressing here complete job. Okay, 100. You can split it like 50, 100. I'm just putting it 100. So it's done. So from this time to this time, this guy completed mixing for 100 a unit. So I'm just submitting it. Submit. Okay. So mixing has done. Now I will go to cooking. I'll go to cooking and again start the job. I'm doing the cooking. I need to select an employee and submit it. Then it will go for some time, 1 second. I mean, whenever it is finishing, actually you don't need to sit and look at here. You can go back and come back when the job finish. Maybe the job take 3 hours. You don't need to look at this. You look at it, but this is it's a funny thing. Okay, so now I complete the job. I complete cooking also for 100. Okay, and you here, so here you will see this time to this time, this particular employee worked and finished. It took 4 minutes for him. So I'll just say submit cooking. Now the last one, packing. So I'll do the packing also. I start it, select an employee and submit and so starting, what happened? Okay, now started. After some time, I will just complete the job. This also completed. So all the jobs are completed. Now the process, what we are discussing, the process of making plum cake has finished. Now what happens? We will come back to our work order. Work order, what is the status now? You can see it is in process. I mean, it's just we have done it. So we'll come back it and say that we have made plum cake. So here you will see, I mean, at any stage, here we have completed mixing and cooking and packing. At any stage, because I explained you this job, once it's only mixing is done, it will only show it's mixing. It will be like that. So how many, here also there is a display that how many items finished. This is all because I just finished all in a go because I need to save your time. Otherwise, if you are splitting it like multiple process, it will show everything here and the details also here, the process and all of these things, how many units it took from the store, how many generator and all. I'm just going to finish it, plum cake. Done. Okay, this is a stock entry. So when we are starting, there is a stock entry. Now, when we are finishing, there's a stock entry. You obviously know why this stock entry, because when we are finishing, when we finished 100 units of plum cake, it has to be entered in a stock voucher. I mean, it should be there in the stock. Otherwise, the store manager or the storekeeper, or I mean, the bakery salesman and all, they don't know how much unit has arrived after the production. So here you will see all the details of sugar, flour, and the finished goods plum. It came actually once it's come, and I mean you will see this all the details. And once we are done and submit it, we are done. The plum cake is now for sale. So you can see it here on the stock ledger, here on this corner. Can you see that? So here, there is a stock ledger and accounting ledger. So these processes are here. This process are here. Stock ledger. So how many quantity is gone? I mean, the one red is the, obviously you know how to look at the. So we have spent this much sugar, this much flour, and this much cashew nut, and we have produced this much plum cake, and that is in our stock. So you can sell it, you can dispatch it. So that, and you can see an accounting ledger also related to this, how much, because I haven't put the cost and also, but you will see how much we earned, and obviously there will be a profit and loss statement for particular projects and or not. So that's what about manufacturing. That's a very simple explanation, but if you have a very complicated process, you are getting hundreds of orders and hundreds of staffs and big process and multiple production unit and all, ERPNext will handle all of that. You need to look further, you need to build practice, and about the planning and forecasting, I'll come back and I will explain you in the next video. So otherwise you yourself can practice that. It's not a big deal, but the major concept we have covered. Here. These are the items. Okay. So that's it for today. And we'll join back with another video, most probably the production plan and forecasting very soon. So thanks for joining. You can you can subscribe this channel, so you will get a notification whenever we are releasing another video. Thank you very much for joining us for this session. Thanks. Appreciate it.